All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% truth and taught us the 100% truth. And there's a lot of um prophecies that are taking place continuously in front of us. And two-thirds could care less about prophecy, right? And that's important because as they're going on, you know, um, through their day-to-day activities, they don't have the fear of the Lord in mind. Okay. They don't understand that when they walk out this door, when they walk out their door, and go onto the streets and go to their jobs or go to school or whatever, that the Lord could suddenly, call for your end, your destruction, right? And there's a lot of things going on, especially with the flights in America being grounded, right? A lot of flights are not taking are not being able to depart due to the storm. There's a heavy storm currently going on. Okay. Right now, certain cities in the eastern states, you're getting like 60 miles per hour winds. Okay. Also, there's a lot of people traveling because what? We're in a time of what they so-called spring break and time of festivities and people going by the beach and people are traveling now. They kind of want to get into the festivities. They kind of want to get into that relaxation spirit, right? They feel like they had a long winter. They feel like they've caught hell, since last year, the ending of last year. A lot's been going on. Prices are going up. Gas prices are going up. Okay. You got the US having war with what? Iran. You have Israel having war with Iran. All these things are taking place. Okay. This is truth. So, all right, YouTube, don't strike me down because this is actual truth. This is what's coming out from the news media outlets. This is what's being said. All right. Because I know they like to give strikes. Man, this is for educational purposes. All right. But these things are taking place and they could care less. The two-thirds can care less about that. Why? Because they don't have the spirit of seeking out the Lord. All right. Seeking out the Lord Yahweh. Okay, the Father, seeking out the Son, Yahweh Shai. They don't have that spirit right now. They have the spirit of mirth. So let's see what's going on. All right. This is just one of many ports. This is one of many airports that's actually blocked due to the fact that flights are being canceled right now. Right? You have some people that are sleeping at the airport to catch their flight. Right? They're not reading the signs and maybe it's not the best time to take flight right now. Something's going on. They're not questioning anything. I'm just gonna play this video real quick. Let's play this other video.
Yeah, Diane and Terrell, it's such an absolute mess here at O'Hare this morning. The ground stop has now been lifted, but take a look at this massive line behind me. These are passengers waiting to rebook their canceled flights at the Asian Assistance Help Desk. 502 flights right now canceled so far today at O'Hare, 48 at Midway, and countless stories of travel troubles.
Oh my God, it's crazy. It's mad crazy here.
The mayhem started Sunday night, spilling into Monday morning, with the winter weather combined with a government shutdown and spring break travel, all leading to lengthy delays and cancellations at Chicago's airports.
We originally were supposed to leave out last night. We got a last minute cancellation. Like, you guys are not going anywhere. So we rebooked and we're hoping and hoping and hoping, and we're able to get out of here.
This family from Springfield, Missouri was originally supposed to be vacationing in Hawaii 2 days ago. That flight got canceled hours before they were set to leave, so they pivoted plans to the Dominican Republic, booking a flight out of Kansas.
Then the flight in Kansas got delayed. Then it got canceled. So then we drove from Springfield, Missouri, all the way to here in Chicago. And then now we're trying to get from Chicago to Dominican Republic while there's snow on the ground without it being delayed or canceled.
They drove 8 hours overnight in hopes of catching a flight out today from O'Hare.
Everyone's off for work and everything, so that's everyone already took off, so now we're just trying anything possible to get out.
This group also had their flight to Miami canceled this morning and pushed to tomorrow.
Tuesday at like 3, and then we wouldn't get there till 11 p.m. So like over 24 hours like after we're supposed to get there.
Now waiting in the agent assistance line, like so many others, to rebook another flight.
And they're getting rebooked twice already. I'm going to Virginia for work, and I'm running late again. I guess my trip got canceled again. So it's the third time.
The city's Department of Aviation says it's monitoring the situation and encourages travelers to continue checking with their airline for updates. Just an exhausting, helpless process, travelers tell me.
Ordered the Uber early in the morning. Knew I didn't want to. Right as I got here, delayed 4 hours. We'll see. I got friends flying out today too. No one's making it out right now.
We can't take another cancellation. My mom has to get back home. She lives.
Just such an unfortunate situation. I've talked to people who had to spend the night here at the airport overnight after their flight last night got canceled. They're hoping to rebook sometime today. Yeah.
Right. You know, they're hoping to rebook, right? You know, they're hoping to get back on their flight. But there's a whole war going on, right? You know, they think when they hear on the news media outlets about, hey, we got, Trump is saying we got everything under control, we done eradicated all the, Trump could come on the news media and say false things like we done eradicated all the Iranians, we done took them all out, knowing damn well it didn't happen, and people would buy that. Oh, he said everything's all right, so we don't need to do any research, we don't need to look into things, we don't need to watch the videos the apostles are putting out on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and the Akim, we don't need to see anything. All we just need to know is when we turn on Fox, CNN, they said everything's okay, so it must be okay, right? It must be okay. So let's go into 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay? They shall not escape. They're not going to escape this darkness. Let's say they don't allow people to get aboard the planes and they're stuck wherever they're at. Well, they're shit out of luck. Okay? But they don't think about this. And let's go to verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, and that day should overtake you. Salakia, let me start from the top. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Okay? So we understand what's going on. We're following prophecy. We're being aware of the situations at hand. Okay? We know we cannot trust thy enemy, Esau. Never trust thy enemy. So when he wants to get behind the podium and tell you, hey, don't worry, the gas prices went up because we started the war with Iran, but don't worry, it's gonna come back soon. We're sending a Navy fleet over there right now. But when you look at these other media outlets from these other countries, Al Jazeera and etc., That's not the case. Okay? That's not, they bit more off than they can chew. That's what's really happening. Salakia, let me pull up this because what's going on right now is Esau is running with a narrative, right? These elites, they're running with a narrative to pacify the people, to let them know everything's going to be okay. All right. You know how the U.S. economy is. You know, one day it's up, one day it's down. You know, it's like the stock market. Okay. Gas prices be $3.30, but tomorrow it could go back down to $3. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. Right. People look at that while they're eating their breakfast, before they head off to work or whatever they're gonna do in the morning. All right, okay. I guess for this week, I'll pay the gas. It's high. I mean, I have no choice, but I guess I'll pay, for that expensive gas. All right, I'll pay for it. We'll just vote the next president in next election, and yeah, he'll sort it all out. I don't like this one though. They have this mindset that they think this kingdom is going to continue, okay, and that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai didn't warn us and let us know, hey, we're at the end. Watch for the signs, okay? Watch for the signs. The people are growing, they're waxing colder and colder. The people are actually not satisfied or happiness. And the world is not satisfied or happy with the state that it's in right now. We need Yahushai to be sent down here to come do the Father's will, to come take out Esau, man. We need him to take out Esau and these wicked nations and the 2/3. Right? And I got another scripture for that. But let's lock in on this right here. Okay. Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust your enemy, for like the rusting of copper, so is his wickedness. All right, that's the RSV's version. Let me bring that up in the King James version. Okay, so we're not going to find the King James version. Salakia. Okay, so the point is, never trust your enemy, for like rusting of copper, so is his wickedness. Even if he humbles himself and goes about cringing, watch yourself and be on your guard against him. Okay, that's true. You must be on your guard. Not trust what these people say, man. Take everything with a grain of salt. Now, let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So these days are being shortened for the elect's sake. Okay, because if that was the case, then there would be no flesh saved. We would many would the world would drive the world into extinction if they can. Okay, but they're the ones that's going to end up being extinct. These Edomites. Okay, they're the ones that's going to end up being extinct, and these other nations are going to be put in captivity. Esau's going to serve his 1,000 year of slavery, and these other nations, and then after the 1,000 year slavery, he's going to be destroyed, and these other nations, all right, they're going to serve captivity, and they're going to be happy to serve captivity in the kingdom. You better have a smile on your damn face. All right. So let's continue. I have see another video to play here. yeah, that, that's, I believe that's that should be it for right now. Let's see if this video pops up. And this is what's going on. This is what this orange man is doing. He's talking about taking hold of, he was talking about taking Greenland. Trump was talking about taking Greenland. He went to Venezuela. Man, look what this man's doing, man. This is what people don't understand. Like, he's not gonna stop.
I think Cuba, is in its own way, for tourism and everything else, it's a beautiful island, great weather. They're not in a hurricane zone, which is nice for a change. They won't be asking us for money for hurricanes every week. But I think Cuba's the end. All my life I've been hearing about the United States and Cuba. When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders.
Yeah, man. Never trust your enemy. Okay, that's the point. Never.
1 second.
What's going on here? Never trust your enemy. That's the point. So with that being said, I'm gonna give a shalom and all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. And I'll catch you on the next one.